Welcome to this magnificent Monday. You are listening to The Shift. I am your host, Ed Montgomery, right here with you on this November 25th, 2024. We are getting so close to that number 12, that December. Oh my goodness, we're so close. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for joining us. You could have turned to any other station or at any other time. You could switch right now, but I hope you won't. Maybe I hope your radio, somebody said if you're not listening to us, your radio must be broke, but I'm not going to go that far. But thank you so much for listening to us all across this city. Those of you that are watching, those of you that are, I think you can't, I don't know. No, I'm not live on Instagram right now. That won't come up until later. But, no. And did she come back?
Who?
You. You know what? I felt Donna walk away for a second. She might have went over there, closed the door or something. And so I was going to say, and I have with me the fantastic Donna Franklin, and she wouldn't have said anything. And but I have with me the fantastic Donna Franklin.
Hey, Dr. Ed.
Hey, Donna.
How are you?
I'm good. Turn me up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Because I can't hear us.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Now, hear you. I can hear you better. How are you? How was your weekend?
It was very busy and good.
Good.
We did Mosaic, the Colors of Culture Friday, which was absolutely incredible.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness, it was incredible. And then yesterday I was in Galveston for Brian Simpson and Marion Meadows, Jazz on the Seawall.
Jazz on the Seawall. Were you down there
Yes.
laying next to the beautiful blue water?
No, it was gorgeous. No, it was gorgeous, though.
Was it?
It was a lot of people on the beach yesterday. It was a beautiful day in
goodness.
Galveston yesterday, though, yeah.
Okay, I can imagine. Yeah, the weather. That would have been. I know they weren't there early in the morning, though. It was cold. But I'm glad they were there. I'm sure it was a wonderful time. Are you a beach person?
Yes, I am. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to close this door.
Yeah, she got to close. She got to close the door. We have there are people in the station that don't know they're in the station. They think they're still on the beach. So
I'm going to answer that question.
what's that? Are you a beach person?
I am. By every...
Oh, you a water baby?
Yeah, I'm a water baby, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I see water, I become a whole different person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Water is the most awesome thing in my life. That's why I always have to go to a Caribbean island.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's where your vacations are.
It's either a Caribbean island or a cruise. It's got to have some water.
Can you swim?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're a swimmer.
Yes.
Oh, I'm a swimmer too.
Yeah.
I can
love
swim.
swimming.
They always say black people can't swim, but
I don't know where they got that from.
I don't know where they got that from either. That's not true. Swim if you have to. We all our ancestors came across water. I think we can swim. So, but no, I was reading an article this weekend, and I got into some history. And around the 18th century, and I don't like to go that far back because people are saying, oh my goodness, I don't want your eyes to glass over. So you stay right here with me. Around the 18th century, early 19th century, that's 1807, 1817, around in that area. There was a man during that particular time by the name of John O'Sullivan, maybe some decades later. But he coined a phrase that was called manifest destiny. And what manifest destiny was, it was during a time in America where, of course, slavery was still being practiced. It was still going on. And America was expanding. It was expanding beyond Ohio, Pennsylvania, going beyond Missouri, and was headed into the West. And so what they would do is that they would open up, and the land commissions of that day and time would open up and says, listen, if you want land, here's what you do. Just get into your Conestoga wagons and your all of your prairie stuff and put your prairie clothes on and start going west, young man. And as they went west, they said, wherever you land, wherever you stop, if you can stay on that land for 5 years and take care of it, that's your land. You don't have to have any money. You don't have to have anything like that. If you stay on there for 5 years, defend it, build on it, that is your land. And that is exactly what happened. Now, that didn't mean that the slaves or the ex-slaves were able to do that. They could not do that, nor the indigenous people of that particular time. They could not do that either. And if any of those people rose up against you while you were on your land, then the cavalry would show up. The American cavalry would show up and defend your right to be on your land. Listen to that phrase, defend your rights. Why were you able to do that? Because of your manifest destiny. What was manifest destiny? They had a picture that was painted, an oil painting that was done, and to express it and explain it. And it was the picture of an angel-like figure, a spiritual figure, all white and all dressed in white. And in one hand, she carried a book of education and a school book, and then in another hand, they carried lights and things of that sort. And behind her were all of these wagons and prairie wagons and oxen and people who were just going to get a brand new land. Of course, there were no people of color in this picture, but these were people, well, at least not as far as people who were going to get land. And on the other side and behind this figure, it was all bright and white and clear and clean. But then as they were going toward the west was dark. It was filled with indigenous people. And what it was, that spiritual figure was symbolic of America, or the American spirit. And the American spirit was going into the darkness of the west as a light, clearing the path for those who were behind. Now, when you got this land, if you had to defend your land, whoever you had to kill to keep your land, you killed them. Whoever you had to slaughter in order to keep your land, you slaughtered. But what if you felt bad about this? Because after all, you didn't buy it. You didn't purchase it from the people who were already on the land. Well, you don't have to worry about it, because first of all, it was believed through manifest destiny, the doctrine of manifest destiny, that God gave you that land. That's number one. And number two, that the law already agreed with the fact that this is your land. So if the law says it's all right, and God's word says it's all right for you to have this land, then you can now sleep comfortably. And whoever you have to destroy to keep that land, you can, and feel good about it. Manifest destiny. Well, as time went on, Civil War and Reconstruction and all of this, manifest destiny has remained in the consciousness, quite possibly, of a people. Maybe it was handed down through generations. We don't know. Every now and then the phrase pops up in a politician's speech or pops up in a pulpit. It pops up somewhere to remind Americans that they have a destiny, and not just a destiny, which is God, but a manifest. In other words, a destiny that must become flesh. So here we are. And so while I was studying that, I said, I wonder how right is that? Because the way I learn is I ask questions. How right is that? How correct of a doctrine is that? Is it right to just go out into a new land that you never heard of, and somebody says, well, this is yours, and God gave it to you, and you just go and take it and kill anybody that says, no, you can't have this. We were here first. But I said, okay, I'll just read it and think of manifest destiny. And manifest destiny, it was written that it's yours. God gave it to you before you ever got here. So this is your promise in America. So as I was reading this news came across my phone. Donna, play that clip for me.
I'm coming. Give me a minute.
Oh, cool. That's all right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Education board in Texas approving a plan that allows Bible.
Are we there? I don't think we can hear.
Classrooms.
There we go.
ABC's Christiane Cordero joins us now live in Washington. Christiane, good morning to you. Certainly testing the boundaries of the separation between church and state.
It sure is, Janae, and good morning to you. Just to show you how contentious this issue is, the Texas Board of Education held a meeting on it earlier this week. More than 100 people showed up to weigh in.
This morning, for the first time ever, public school curriculum infused with Bible lessons will be allowed and rewarded.
8-7, the motion passes.
The Texas Board of Education narrowly approved new state-authorized curriculum for 2.3 million public school students from kindergarten through 5th grade, starting next year. Material being taught includes the Golden Rule, using lessons from the Bible and referring to the Bible as a series of ancient texts.
The way that they're taught in a setting that children can study the Bible as a piece of literature, which it has been recognized as for so many years in the Western world.
But the material pulls from Christianity more than any other religion. Critics say it alienates students of other faiths and violates the First Amendment.
Church-state separation is the shield that protects religious freedom for all of us.
The curriculum that passed is optional, but schools that use the material stand to gain at least $40 per student in extra funding.
What do you anticipate the next steps will be?
Well, for one, we're urging all superintendents across the state of Texas not to implement this unconstitutional curriculum. Public schools are not Sunday schools, and our lawyers are standing by.
It's the latest in a Republican-led push likely to face legal challenges. Louisiana was set to place the 10 Commandments in all public schools until a federal judge blocked it this month. Oklahoma's top education official ordered teachers to include the Bible in 5th through 12th grade lessons. A group of teachers and parents filed a lawsuit to stop it.
If successful, Texas could become a model for other states, given the incoming administration's promise to champion Christian conservative values and the conservative makeup of the Supreme Court. At the very least, each of these states is putting the separation of church and state in the classroom to the test. Gio?
Interesting.
That is very interesting. So a lot of people, there are all kind of Bibles. There's so many different kind of Bibles.
What do you mean, like Christian Bibles or? Yeah, exactly.
So,
and most people don't even know what the Bible is or how the Bible actually works.
I'm going to talk about how I grew up. I grew up Catholic, right? We went to Catholic school. We had religion in Catholic school, which is,
But that's Catholic school. You're supposed to have religion in Catholic school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we didn't study the Bible either. It was we listened to what
You studied Christian doctrine.
Right.
Church doctrine.
Right,
At that
right.
particular time, yeah.
So the thing is, everybody doesn't really know about the Bible. And how many Bibles, is it just going to be one? Or are you going to take an account of everybody's faith because everybody has different faiths?
No, they're not taking that account. This has to do with Christian nationalism, and because it's Christianity that is being pushed. But then how many different forms of Christianity? I mean, just the King James Version has been edited 40,000 times since 1611. So what you're looking at is and that was just a short clip. What they're also going to be teaching is how the Bible is connected with the Christianity and the beliefs of the Founding Fathers, and how the Founding Fathers' Christianity is in our country. One of the things they were talking about is that how Abraham Lincoln was a Christian. Abraham Lincoln was not Christian. Not a Christian as we would think of a Christian at this particular time. But listen, I had to step back because it triggered me. And it triggered me because one of the things I didn't like the fact that it was being placed in elementary, kindergarten.
Because those are the minds.
See, that sounds like indoctrination
That's
to me.
right.
That sounds like you're going to raise my kids to learn Christianity the way you believe Christianity to be. And knowing children are going to want to see pictures. So when they show Jesus and talk of Jesus, they're going to show pictures. And that's going to come up. And people are going to start, what is Jesus going to look like? First of all, we know he's not. Well, we know he's not going to be black.
No, he's not.
Not on the paper that you're going to show him. And you may not make him white, but you may make him more white leaning. You may try to make him tan or beige, but you will make him more whiter beige than you make him blacker beige. So, which I'm saying, hey, don't show a picture of Jesus at all, because nobody has a picture of Jesus. Nobody painted Jesus. That was 2,000 years ago. Thou shalt make no graven images. That's what the Bible actually says. So, but what are you going to do? I promise you that a picture will be placed there. And then who is going to teach these classes? They already have the teachers in mind who are going to teach these classes. They're on the list. They're on the list of Project 2025. It's already there. Now, I don't have the kind of platform where I can stand and rah-rah against all of this, and I don't have children, because if I had children, my children would not go there. My children would not be in class. I would go and I would stand and pull my child out until that particular class was over, because I would not let them indoctrinate my child. However, the America that we're living in right now, we may have people of color who will fight people of color to let this child stay in to the Bible class, because my child needs to learn about the Bible. But they're not teaching the Bible. They're teaching Christian principles. And there's something in the back of my mind that keeps saying, didn't a group of people once teach docility, if that's the word I would use, to a group of people to keep them enslaved? See, the Bible is like neutral. The Bible is pro-slavery, and the Bible is also anti-slavery. The Bible does teach slavery and the godly principles of slavery, but the Bible also teaches, well, you don't hurt slaves. You don't do this to slaves. The Bible is pro-women, but also against women. Women shall not speak in church. But at the same time, when a woman prophesies or speaks in church, she should cover her head. So the Bible has two different things going on. It sometimes contradicts itself within the same particular scripture. But that's not a bad thing. There's a reason the Bible does that. So if that's what America wants, if that's what people voted for, then we're headed down that road. And I'm not going to sit up here and fight against the powers that be that want to make this country a Christian country. Evidently, America says we want this to be a Christian country.
That's what they voted for.
That's what they voted for. I mean, if somebody called, I would, I think one of the questions we would ask today, in other words, how many of you, want to send your children or your grandchildren to an elementary school, kindergarten, first grade? I mean, that teaches the Bible. How many of you want the Bible taught? Not the Bible, but Christian principles taught to your child in school, where you're not going to be, where you're not going to be watching, where you're not going to know anything. Now, if they were passing this law and said, we're going to be teaching high school students, when they get to high school, we're going to be teaching them these Christian principles or Bible principles, I would say, hey, I wouldn't particularly like it then, but I would be more.
They would be questioning more than elementary school.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
And because then are these kids allowed to ask questions? Are they allowed to say, well, teacher, I don't agree with that. That's not how it was taught in my church.
The
See,
kindergarten and young kids are not going to say that.
they're going to be docile.
That's right.
And you're going to teach a gospel, an evangelistic gospel that's going to keep them docile and just accept teaching the way you teach it. And so when they get older, this is how they're going to have been first introduced to Christianity. And I promise you, there are differences. Oh, you wouldn't have all these different denominations.
Right.
If people didn't think of it differently. And then black people, I'm of a generation where I was taught to look at Christianity differently than my grandmothers were looked at Christianity. So my teaching is a piece of Martin Luther King as well as a piece of Malcolm X. That's Baptist and Islam, Muslim. So, in other words, it's kind of like, I know what the scripture says, turn the other cheek. I know what it says, but I don't think so. But you're going against the Bible. Against what? The authority. What authority? You're going against God. What do you mean going against God? If you go against the Bible, you're going against God. How do you figure? God didn't write the Bible. Men wrote the Bible. Or am I going against your interpretation of the Bible? So if this is what America wants, and they're willing to put it through into the school systems, and if people sit back and say, no big deal, I got other things to do. Well, they said that when there are people who said that when it's time to vote. Well, I'm busy. I got other things to do. I don't feel like voting. Well, now you got the America that you got. Well, I don't feel like voting. You got the Congress that you got. Well, I don't feel like, going all the way down this ballot. Well, you got the Senate that you have. Well, okay, so they got this. Well, you didn't show up at the school session. And when they voted, well, hey, it's my kid, whatever it is. I don't care what they teach. It might help the kids. Fine. Okay. So that's what you allow them to teach. I can't fight everybody in the world, and I'm not going to try. But I'm curious too, as a host on a radio show, how many of you are for it? Teaching the Bible and teaching Christianity in the school. Well, we're Muslim. Well, okay, so you're Muslim. Well, we're Hindu. Well, of course. Well, what they're saying in America, we don't care what you are. Yeah. This is what we're going to teach. So we don't care what you are. They haven't even made provisions for the fact that these other kids of other religions can walk out of the room and go sit somewhere else.
Right.
Now, you're going to listen to what we're saying because this is our manifest destiny. And we're going to take our country back. We're going to make America. Yeah. 713-313-4354. Do you agree? And we're not going to get into long conversations about it, but do you agree with the Bible being taught in Texas schools, which is going to be? From what I just heard, it's going to be. It's not like whatever your point of view, if it's gonna stop it. 713-313-4354. Call me.
Here's my other question, Dr. Ed. For those parents who take their kids to Sunday school,
yeah,
and then they go to school and learn something else, do you think that's going to be a confusion?
Well, here's the thing. When you feel that you have privilege and you are the author and finisher of Christianity,
that's
then
scary.
What you teach in these school systems, you don't expect to be taught differently in that child's church, because that child, if they're Christian, that Christianity could not possibly be different
Ooh, your lines are all
than
lit up.
what we teach, because we are evangelicals. We are the head of Christianity. We brought Christianity to this country.
Oh my gosh, all the lines are lit, Dr. Ed.
All right, then let's go to some of them. Let's talk to my callers and see what they think. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Dr. Ed here on The Shift. What is on your mind? What do you think? What are you for Bible in schools or against? What do you think?
Hello, Dr. Ed.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know I was on.
You're on. Oh, yeah, you're on.
Foremost, yeah. First and foremost, it's supposed to be taught at home. So if what I'm teaching is at home is going against what they're teaching at school, just come to me and I will clarify whatever questions that you have. This is it's just information. Like all information in school is taught, it's just information. Don't take anything to heart. I just want you to go and make an A in the class. That's all you gotta do.
That sounds simple, but I don't think it's going to be that simple.
Oh, they're not coming to you about Christianity.
No.
They're not coming to you on that. So this is different.
Say that again?
They're not coming to you to talk to you about the Christianity that's going to be taught in the classroom. There's difference between math and English and teaching Christian values. That's the difference. They're not coming to you on that. So
Even with the children that you say are not Christians, we teach the Nation of Islam in my household.
Mm-hmm.
You're still not going to understand this doctrine. This is just information. And now you have something to compare it to, because we don't teach this at home or in our places of worship.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they're doing in school, it is just information. If I'm not teaching it at home, I can understand how that would be a problem. I can see how that's an issue if you have the parents who
Yes.
are not teaching you any type of morals, and you're out
Yes.
killing each other in the streets and you're engaged. Yes, it's a problem then, but for right now, it's just information.
So let me ask you a question. Are you for them teaching Christianity in school or against it?
Because I am confident in what I have taught my son at home and what my husband teaches my son at home, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your call. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Dr. Ed. Oh, hold on.
Now go ahead.
Okay. Hello, you're on with Ed Montgomery in The Shift. What's your first name and what's on your mind? What do you say about all this? Hello. You're live. Did they leave me, Donna? Let's go to our next caller. Hold on, they'll come back.
Okay, there you go.
Are you still there?
No, you got a new caller.
Hello,
Yes,
caller.
sir.
You're live
I'm
on the
here.
air. Yes. What's your first name?
Henry.
Henry. All right. For
Hey,
or against?
Dr.
What are you for or against? Come on, talk to
I'm
me.
against it 100. I'm against it 100%.
Why? Okay.
101, because it's just like whatever happened to separation of church and state. That was never supposed to mix, and it's just like you said. You have your own religion, so you like you said, they haven't made no provisions to let this child go to some other place or some other class or something. They're gonna force this on these children, and that's the best way to get a child when they're vulnerable. That's what the enemy wants. He wants to get these children while they're babies and haven't had no experiences, do not have no relation.
Well, hold on, Henry. Henry, you think it's the enemy. They think they're agents of God.
Yeah, exactly. And
So the question is,
enemy always,
who's right, who's wrong? Nobody knows that.
the enemy always passes himself off as a beacon of light.
But
I mean,
Henry, but that's how
it's
you see it. They see themselves as the agents of God, the angels of God that are going to save the country. So anyway,
Like, I'm thinking about it.
I hear you, but I got your answer.
I said no.
You say no. Okay.
Absolutely no.
All right. I got one yes and one no. Donna, keep track of this.
Okay, so let me just say this because I'm getting text messages. They're trying to get in.
Okay.
When you call,
Yes.
I'm going to immediately put you on hold. And they say it goes silent. I said yes.
And,
because I put you on hold. And when I put you on hold, don't hang up because you are on hold because the lines are lit up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going. Yeah, your lines are going to go silent when we put you on hold because we don't have that box that works like that here at
We
KTSU.
public radio.
Right, public radio. Now, if you want to make another donation, we can put the box on there. All right, caller, you're live on the air with Ed Montgomery. What's your first name and what's your vote on this?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Idris.
Idris, what's on your mind?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well,
What you think?
you were clarifying something to the brother saying what they think and what their position is, and I found it very interesting. But the nation was supposed to be founded on those values,
Okay.
and these people that are ready to do this now are the same people that don't believe in equality.
Okay.
They have not lived by those values, so that's why he's saying he's not with it. Because you say one thing, but you show something else. We have not seen equality. We have not seen anything but racism at the highest level. We've even seen treason when they try to take over the Capitol. So, it's just another form of indoctrination. The Catholics use it to control and set up all of their different missions in this country and destroy the Native Americans.
So, all right. So, what's your position? Do
So-
you think it should be taught or not? Christianity.
I don't think it should be taught because it's not being taught properly. It's being used as a tool.
Okay. Well, they may not think that way, but I take that.
Well, here's the thing.
I got to go. All my phones are back. Okay.
All
This
right.
is 2 to 1.
All right,
2 to 1.
brother.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let.
Hello, caller. You're live on air with Ed Montgomery and The Shift. What do you think? Should they teach the Bible or Christianity or not in public schools?
I'm totally against it. They should not.
Okay. Why?
Because now you're taking the control out of it. You're taking the control away from the parents. It's the parents' responsibility to teach their kids what they need to know, not the school, as far as religion goes.
Okay. Well, evidently they think it's their position now. They seem to think that.
Well,
that's what they got. I think the election gave them this. They feel that way.
well, let me just say this, Doc. Everything that's going on right now, I just want to say to the people who felt like it was not important to vote, now you see why it was important to vote.
Well, and he has not even been installed. That's a church thing. Installed. The president hasn't been. What's the word when you put your hand on the Bible? Well, whatever it is.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that. Okay, thank you for your call. Let me go to my next caller. Hello, caller. You're live on air with Ed Montgomery and The Shift. What do you think?
Well, I'm against it. Against it.
Why?
I'm against it because from my observation of being here in America, it appears to me that there are two different types of Christianity. And one of the loud voices that represent Christianity in this country can become dead silent when there is an obvious attack on minorities, dead silent on issues of racism. And these are your prominent Christian voices that are out there now. So it appears to me that there are two different types of Christianities in this country, and I do not want my children, grandchildren being taught that in the classroom.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. What is that, 4 to 1? Donna, what is that, 4 to 1?
4 to 1.
All right. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Ed Montgomery in The Shift. What do you think about this?
I'm against it. I'm against it being taught in the schools. I got two reasons I'm against it. The first reason is that I have been in a classroom in a public school that has taught the different religions, the major religions through the social studies curriculum. And while being in that classroom, when they got to Christianity, the teacher was teaching about Christianity, which I am one. He taught those sixth grade students a way that anybody can be a Christian. It's the easiest religion. You have to have no accountability, and you can do whatever you want to do and still be a Christian. And he just made it like it was a nothing religion. So that's number one. Who's going to be teaching these kids how they're going to indoctrinate them?
Mm-hmm. Who's
Number
going to be
two
teaching?
is,
Okay.
pretty much in Texas, Houston especially, if you need to know about Christianity, you can just walk to the corner. We have a church on every corner. So there's no way you can hardly miss Christianity. It's very hard to miss it because we have so many churches. We got them in shopping centers, malls. We got them on the radio. So why do we need to take taxpayers' money and teach the children what you gonna teach them?
Now let me ask you a question, because that is a fantastic principle right there. If you got churches on every corner, churches all around you, and you're saying, why do you have to take taxpayer money to teach Christianity in the schools? Evidently, somebody thinks that those churches on every corner are ineffective.
Well, see,
or something's wrong in the home.
That depends. I'm a Christian because my grandfather taught my mother to be a Christian, and my father taught me, and my mother taught me to be a Christian. So they're the ones that taught me my religious persuasion. It's a parent's job to do that. I don't think it's the state's job to do that.
Okay.
And so children at that age are very vulnerable, and you can teach them some things that they will actually believe. You know, they will actually believe that Columbus discovered America.
Well, this is what they're going to teach. They're going to teach Columbus discovered America, by the way. That's part of that Christianity they're going to teach. I know that's what's in the curriculum. But, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go to my next caller. And not only that, but if your child starts in the first kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, starts coming home saying, Mama, Daddy, that's not right. That Christianity, what you're saying is not right. You're starting a wedge in the family. So what about people who are so pro-family, but now they want to create a teaching wedge about Christianity and religion with the family? So, hey, let's think about that. All right. Let me go to my text. What you got on your text?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
But here's the question. I had a question. Oh, go on it. Oh my
Just
gosh.
ran through your mind, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, just ran on us the outside.
This is what I wanted to say.
Sure.
When the election was going on, and then Project 2025 came up, and then President-elect Trump said he knows nothing about it. He has nothing to do with it, right? And they believed him on that. But Project 25
Who believed him? Oh, the MAGA people?
The voters, because they voted for him overwhelmingly. So they obviously did not believe in Project 2025. A lot of people thought it was a hoax. That was a 900-page document that was floating around if you wanted to read it. But evidently, I don't know.
Evidently, they believed it was a hoax.
I think so.
Evidently, they believed that the charges was a hoax against the president. Evidently, the president-elect, they believed that the conviction of the president-elect was a hoax.
Yeah.
And now they probably believe that the judges that are going to forget all about all of that may be a hoax. They thought that all the people that the elect president said he was going to put on their cabinets and put on their staff, extreme people, they said, he's not really going to do it. They thought that was a hoax. So,
take a break.
I still got callers, don't I?
No.
Oh, good. I got cleared off. Yeah. Well, good. Hey, listen, make sure you hit me up on Ed Montgomery 1. That's my Instagram page, and you can click follow. Follow me there because I'm always dropping little jewels and diamonds and things of that sort. And also hit me up on YouTube. I just dropped a video Sunday that talked about, is God in the election? Is God in your marriage? Is God in football games and praying for winning for games? And you'll find out God may not be in a lot of things you think God is in. So I just dropped that video. But not only that, but you can hit me up on Facebook, all those different places. And then don't go anywhere because I'm going to be right back because I want to know what you think about Christianity, Bible being taught in Texas schools.
The Shift with Ed Montgomery will be right back on The Choice 90.9 KTSU, your community station.
We were talking about who's going to teach these classes. People have an idea, quite possibly, that it's going to be the teachers in the school that teach the math and teach the English and teach the literature. Not necessarily. That could be contracted out. And so your local Bible study teachers in the church down the street could quite possibly be brought in to teach your children. But if you're not teaching the way they want you to teach Christianity, then some people of color may not be allowed to teach in those spaces, so that your children may only hear from certain teachers. We were talking about that, how that possibly could work. And that doesn't.
Here goes a text. Good afternoon, Dr. Ed. Who's going to be teaching these kids? That's the question you asked.
Yeah.
Every teacher teaching Sunday school has no reason teaching on Sundays. So just imagine an everyday Joe or Joanna teaching our babies about something that's not in their hearts. We already have too many demons in our school system already.
The Bible is not easy to teach.
It's not.
It's not easy to teach.
It's not even easy to interpret.
But exactly. But there are people who believe, God told me and God spoke to me, and this is how I preach. I mean, somebody gets up there and says, God told me to go preach, and they print up some cards and pass them out. And now you got a congregation of people sitting listening to a preacher who is illiterate concerning things of Scripture. So, I mean, hey. This is where America is. Let me see. I think I got a call on the line, don't I?
Yes.
Let me go to my phones. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Ed Montgomery and The Shift. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Dr. Ed Montgomery. We for it. As long as they preaching out of the Holy Bible, King James Version. That's what we are for it. If it's preaching from King James Bible.
So as long as it's the King James Bible. But you know that Bible been translated 40,000 times.
Not add no subtraction. No add, no subtraction. No add. If you take away, you don't take away from it. No take away from what they said in the Bible.
But what if
no
they
add or no subtraction.
Okay, but what if they add their interpretation of it? Is that good?
Well, it's all right if they add theirs, but they're still wrong. You're still wrong. You can't take away from what's already written.
Okay. Turn the radio down. Turn the radio down while I'm talking to you. Okay. Did you turn the radio down?
You can't take away. It's back there in the back.
Yeah.
You don't add or don't take away.
It's talking about don't add or take away from Revelation, from that particular book. But that's just minor. That's just minor. But so you're saying you're for them teaching the Bible in school?
King James.
Only King James.
Holy Bible in the New Testament.
Well, that's not going to be the Bible. They're going to teach from the Trump Bible.
No. Well, I'll be against that.
Okay. All right.
As long as another Bible.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So he's caught in the middle.
So he caught in the middle.
Them kids wrong.
Okay. Well, we caught in the middle. We got you. Thank you so much. Another call. Hello, caller. You live on the air with Ed Montgomery in The Shift. What do you think about this?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm excellent today. How are you?
Great. I listen to you all the time, but this
Thank
is one of the rare occasions I get a chance to call in.
I'm glad you did.
A couple of things. One of them, Texas is a part of the Bible Belt. It's always been a part of the Bible Belt since colonial days.
Okay.
Number two is the Blue Law. Texas still engaged in the Blue Law.
What's the Blue Law?
When I worked for alcohol and car dealerships, I think they close on Sunday at certain times.
No, they don't do that. You know they don't do that anymore, right?
Yes, they do still do that.
No, you can still go to the corner store and get your beer on Sunday. You know that, right?
But they have to close at a certain time.
No, they don't.
You can get it after 12 noon.
You can get it after. Can you get it before 12 noon?
No.
Are you sure?
On Sundays.
On Sundays?
No.
So you can get it after 12 noon, just in time for the game. Yep. You can get it after 12 noon, and they don't close. You can have it the rest of the day, right? Yep. You can have it the rest of the day. And if I'm not mistaken, at the football games, you can get it before 12 noon. When the game starts at 11. Because it's on private property. So, okay. So what do you think? What do you think about the Bible? Should they teach it in school or not? What do you think?
Well, it's not for me to say if they should or if they shouldn't.
Yes, it is. You're a voter. You're a voter. You have something to say. What do you think?
Well, I don't have any children that age.
Well, still,
but if I did, I would teach my child at home rather than in school setting. Because if they're in a school setting, they're being indoctrinated.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Thank you so much. So
Have a wonderful week and happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving to you. That's right. That's right. Thanksgiving is coming up. All right. Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. What do you think today?
Oh man, one of the things that I like about Carl Pearson was that he leveled up
and he's late. Yeah, he's gone on to be in his transition. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Correct. Yeah, and he had some philosophy that I agree with, and he questioned the Bible because he knew man had something to do with the Bible being written, and man ain't never been perfect. So if we know man ain't perfect, how are we going to make him perfect only in that aspect? And we don't go and use our own ability to connect with the universe and the spirit of God to understand things on our own. We're having to go to the third and fourth party. And that's what you got, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 100 different translations and interpretations, and it's all, nobody knows nothing. Definite, but everybody acts like they know everything for sure. And in terms of the school, I think it's just going to be a bunch of mess. We're not a Christian nation, but we have more Christian people here than anything else. And I said, let the majority rule. Let the people vote and put it up for vote. People vote for Christianity being the national religion for this country. Let it be that. Okay. And then you can't bully them out and not doing what they want to do with it. And everybody can say have their subsidiaries, and they can have their own personal stuff. Just not. So
are you for them? So it's all right for them to teach it in public schools or not?
I'm not a Christian, so I don't necessarily care what they do. It's not gonna hurt me. My child is the first year. My baby is 1 year in college now.
Well, but still, I know. But you might. I know you don't care, so it doesn't matter to you. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the middle then. Okay.
What were you about to say? I want to hear what you had to say.
Oh, no. If I just wanted to know whether you were for them teaching it in school or against. But you sound like you're saying, I don't care what they do. So I'm going to put you in the middle.
Well, if I had to make a vote, if I had to vote on it, I would probably say no.
Okay.
I don't agree on nobody teaching no one thing when you got a bunch of people that believes in all kinds of different things.
I got you.
It's going to always be chaos and confusion.
I got you. That makes sense to me. Thank you so much.
All right, Doc.
All righty.
So let me read these text messages.
Okay.
We have generations of children that are not being taken to church. They are already wedges in the family. The state is doing it because all this is tied to money. You can get drinks at 10 to midnight on Sundays. Okay. I thought it was noon. Thank you for telling me something. Okay, they are not teaching Christianity. It's history. I wish we had a camera in here because Dr. Ed just took a swig of water. It was like come on, Dr. Ed.
It's when they say they're not teaching Christianity. They're not teaching Christianity. They're teaching history. History.
Yes.
History.
Yeah.
All right.
You have another caller.
History.
Yeah.
You do. I'm sure people do realize that there are no original texts to any of the synoptic gospels. I'm sure they understand.
I don't know if they do or not.
There are no original texts. What we're reading are the texts of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies.
That man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. You don't look at the Bible as CNN or anything like that. You look at the Bible as speaks to us of wisdom, but then that's another story about what it is. Right. We're just talking about, do we think that these human beings should teach it? So I'm going to ask my caller that's on the line right now. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Ed Montgomery in the Shift. What do you think about them teaching Christianity in the public schools? Do you agree with it or not?
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with it because I agree with it because you have to start somewhere. You know, I know a family, the great grandmother, the mother, and the great grandmother, the grandmother, and the mother. Don't none of them go to church. So the kid is lost. The 16-year-old son right now is in the county jail. It ain't because he don't know Christianity. It's because he wasn't led right, I think. This is my opinion. And as far as, hey, you got to start somewhere. You know, like the caller said, it start at home. It don't always start at home because the parents, half the parents, don't get me wrong, half the parents don't know nothing. You know, they not following. So, you know, it's kind of like a two-edged sword, you know, what I'm saying is. And you think back to our ancestors. Our ancestors, it was forced on them. So, but we know different. Don't get me wrong. We know different. Do we not?
Okay. All right. So evidently you say you say it should be taught. Okay, so how many is that, Donna? 7-2?
Now ask her. Yeah. Yeah, 7-3.
7-3. Okay, he feels it should. Now you do have a point there, and I will give you that point. You got a point there. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, here you go. Next caller.
Hello, caller. You live on air with Ed Montgomery in the Shift. What's on your mind? What do you think about this subject? Good afternoon.
Ed Montgomery and my girl, my lady over there.
Hi, darling.
My thought is that no, because I tell you the reason why. There's a lot of times, you can say this, I'm going to try to say it real quickly, because we're supposed to teach our children at home. Mm-hmm. You know, because if we don't teach them at home, if we don't teach them, if we don't be standing for something, they'll be falling for anything. So therefore, it starts at home. Okay, because you may go out here and you may have a lot of atheists, and you don't know what our kids is falling for. So to that, I say no. But I will say that if it goes by, we need to be continuously praying like we never prayed before, that it falls on the right ear. Because, you know, when we was coming up, our mothers and fathers took us to church. Now, I don't have to tell you how old I am for that. But it was Sunday all day. Church, Sunday school, 11 o'clock service, go home and eat, BYPU, night service, nothing. We didn't go to the store, none of that. We prayed before we eat. Mm-hmm. And see, this here, and we've lost that. But it's just like the presidential race and all. This is like a baton handing out. Well, this president didn't do this. This one didn't do that. But they can never finish what's been going on our life. That's why we need the power of prayer. And there is power in prayer. So we need to be praying like we've never prayed before. But then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean for those believers, it's already been told to us what's going on. And we've been studying the book of Revelation, and we see it now. But that doesn't mean we don't stop praying.
Okay.
Because God can do anything but fail.
Okay. So should they teach it in school? So you believe they should teach it, right?
I know. No. I believe that we should teach it at home.
Okay.
And I said, if they do go back to teach it at school, we need to be working side by side, hand in hand with our kids.
Okay? I understand. So do you think they should? But you're saying they should teach it, but we should work hand in hand with our children. No.
I said if they go about and teach it.
Well, they're gonna keep it. They're gonna do it. They've already decided to do it. They're gonna do it. Yeah, it's done.
We need to be falling on our knees and be teaching our children to pray and asking God to be a fence all around them and put His shield of protection upon it. Okay. Because He hasn't left us.
All right. Well, I got you on that. I got you on the prayer thing. So in other words,
I think we at home need to teach our children, our own kids.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure quite where you are on this one. Then I'm gonna put her in the middle, Donna.
Yeah.
On the middle. Okay.
You know we gotta go.
Thank you so much.
You got all these calls,
I gotta
text
go.
messages, but
Where am I going?
it's time.
Oh, I gotta go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I got to go. I went all the way on this show and didn't even realize it was time for me to go. So what did we wind up with, Donna? 7 to
We had 7
for
no.
For in other words, we don't want it.
No.
In
3
schools.
who won it, 1
So
in the
you
middle.
want it, and 1 in the middle.
Yep.
And the last caller, I don't know where she was. She wouldn't tell me completely. I don't think she really wanted, but she wants us to pray, and I don't blame her. I think prayer is always a good thing. Listen, this was a fun show, and we can keep talking about this because I'm sure we all have our thoughts about a lot of different things. And but you know what? This is going to be an interesting time. Don't be discouraged if you want the election to go a different way. Sometimes people are saying, oh, this country is gone. It's absolutely gone. No. There are going to be things that are going to twist and turn, and things that people think they're going to take over something is not necessarily going to be. There are things that can elevate. Number 1, get yourself back in the understanding of what Scripture really is, back into that understanding of spiritual things. And number 2, get deeper in that knowledge. And number 3, get knowledge of who you are, where you come from, your background. And when you do that, you raise your image up. And when you raise up your image, you can do anything.